व्रज जनरंजन जामुना तीरा वनचारी जामुना तीरा जजो राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा गौरंग महाप्रभु जय नित्यानंद राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरि बोल ना हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग गौरा गौरा गौर हरि जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya jato nyayaditarataschartisu avijñaswarat tene brahma hridadi kavaye muhyanti yat surayo tejo vari mridam jata vinimayo jatatrisarvam rasa tanma swena sada nirashtakuhakam satyam parandimahi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, 3rd canto, 13th chapter. Text number 26. teṣāṁ satāṁ veda-vitāna-mūrtir brahmāvadhāryātma-guṇānuvādam vinadya bhūyo vibudhodayāya gajendra-līlo āviveśa Prabhuji's. teṣāṁ satāṁ veda-vitāna-mūrtir brahmāvadhāryātma-guṇānuvādam vinadya bhūyo vibudhodayāya gajendra-līlo jalam āviveśa teṣāṁ satāṁ veda-vitāna-mūrtir brahmāvadhāryātma-guṇānuvādam vinadya vibudhodayāya gajendra-līlo āviveśa teṣāṁ satāṁ veda-vitāna-mūrtir brahmāvadhāryātma-guṇānuvādam Vaishnavis. avadhārya, this son, teṣāṁ, of them, satāṁ, of the great devotees, veda, all knowledge, vitāna-mūrtiḥ, the form of expansion, brahma, Vedic sounds, avadhārya, knowing it well, ātma, of himself, guṇa-anuvādam, transcendental glorification, vinadya, resounding, bhūyaḥ, again, vibudha, of the transcendental learned, udayāya, for the elevation of benefit, gajendra-līlo, playing like an elephant, jalam, the water, āviveśa, enter. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Avai Charanarvindam Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring, again, in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of the Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. Please repeat. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again, in reply of the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of the Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. The form of the Lord in any shape is always transcendental and full of knowledge and mercy. The Lord is the destroyer of all material contamination because his form is personified Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas worship the transcendental form of the Lord. And in the Vedic mantras, the devotees request the Lord to remove the glaring effulgence because it covers his real face. That is the version of the Upanishad. The Lord has no material form, but his form is always understood in terms of the Vedas. The Vedas are said to be the breath of the Lord, and that breath was inhaled by Brahma, the original student of the Vedas. The breathing from the nostril of Brahma caused the appearance of Lord Boar, and therefore the boar incarnation of the Lord is the personified Vedas. The glorification of the incarnation of the sages on the higher planet consisting of factual Vedic hymns. Whenever there is a glorification of the Lord, there is to be understood that Vedic mantras are being rightfully vibrated. The Lord was therefore pleased when such a Vedic mantras were chanted, and to encourage his pure devotees, he roared once more and entered the water to rescue the submerged earth. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-shalakaya Chakshuru-militanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Damodaya Nagara Grama Torine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrashavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Om Tat Sat. With the blessing of such a wonderful devotees here present, Srila Prabhupada's dear boys and girls, many of you should be glorified like here. So the glorification of the Lord is also the glorification of His devotees. And actually He's more pleased when His devotees are being worshipped, when His devotees are glorified. I was just thinking America went into new transition, new president, and what so many kinds of glorifications. And I was wondering, when is going to come the day when America can glorify His wonderful sons and daughters who give the light to the seva of Srila Prabhupada and expand this Krishna movement throughout the world. It's just, that's the greatest gift from America. Srila Prabhupada loved America. He loved New York, he loved Los Angeles, he loved San Francisco. He loved the devotees, and he loved also, obviously, everything that came from there that can be done properly for the service of Krishna. We're standing in this Srimad Mayapur by the great seva of these devotees. His book distribution, his BBT. Here we have one of the representatives. I always just envision one day to meet Prabhu. But so kindly is here present. Like Srila Prabhupada was giving all his glorification to his Guru Maharaj. Anything he did by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. The same the devotees of Srila Prabhupada is all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is wonderful. But for us that we have seen this movement grow by their complete dedication to their Guru Maharaj, our glorification goes to them. In that way, in this parampara, in this proper way, the Vedas have been chanted. The chanted emanate from the Lord Himself. Vedanta Krit Veda. Vedanta Krit Veda. He is the compiler of the Vedanta. Videva Chaham. Videva. He is also the seer of the Vedas. And he has to be known through the Vedas. So the Vedas is his compilations, plus the sages who understand him, they also write glorification about him. It's like in the Rig Veda, we have the Purusha Shukta. All the demigods, when they want to glorify the Lord in His multifarious forms, they chant the Purusha Shukta. Purusha Shukta, Purusha. Purusha is first the person. Even now it sounds the same. In Latin, persona, Purusha. It's the same. From the person. Sahasra Sirsha Purusaha. The Lord has unlimited heads. Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Unlimited eyes, beautiful eyes. Like I never saw this amazing, wonderful manifestation of the Lord here in this wonderful place. But there it is, Paramatma. It is the Lord of our hearts manifested, so beautiful, His tulsi leaves. And His very gentle way He holds the lotus. And obviously the chakra is there, and Kaumodaki, His mace is there. But He has come here in Kali Yuga, in this holy place, just to save us, everyone. It's the sound of the conch shell, it's the touch of the gentle lotus. His weapons are His disciples, His followers. Padakadastra, Parshadam. So in that same way, Srila Prabhupada brought this kindness to the West, this love, this compassion. And in that way, the Lord is glorified by being so kind, so compassionate. He manifests this world. He maintains this world only to create a link between the living entities who are lost here and the path back to Vaikuntha. Just so this path is always open, the Lord comes again and again in different multifarious forms. So this enlightened path is always free. So anybody, by his own free will, wants to surrender to the Lord, can glorify the devotees and then glorify him, and in that way reestablish the normal activity of the living entity who is eternally serving the Lord. Srila Prabhupada used to call us that we are Achyuta. We are followers of Achyuta. We already reached the platform of serving the Lord. Then all the other gotras are not necessary. Many great sages, many great personalities born from Brahma. They are the different Prajapatis. They generate so many kinds of living entities in different planetary systems. And these are different gotras. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned when one becomes Achyuta Gotra, when one becomes surrendered to the Lord, then he transcends all these varnashram, transcends all these differences. There is no need of any isms anymore. We have understood our eternal position as eternal parts and parcel servants of the Lord. And in loving devotion, we meditate on him. There is no other way. The Lord cannot be conquered in any other way. No with jnana, no through yoga, no through austerities. He is only conquered by devotion. Bhakti mam abhijanahi. I can be known only through devotion, because he does devotion in a different way. He loves us unconditionally. Just like now, we receiving the light of the sun, the same every insect, every plant is receiving the light of the sun. It's just a spark of the power of Krishna. But he never let us behind without this. He's so kindly giving to everyone. This is love. The sun comes out of love. And the sun follows this order also out of love. Out of seva. This seva is the eternal nature of the living entity. To serve. We have to serve Krishna. Krishna is the supreme attractive. We cannot be distracted. Krishna is the attraction. We have to be focused. Annavilashita sunyam. Anakulyena shilanam. Bhaktiruttamam. That's what we all want to achieve, because that's what pleased Krishna. And that's what he gave us. He don't have no interest in what we surrender to him just so he himself become bigger or more glorified. No. He's just, because like this we don't suffer. In this way there is no miserable existence. In this way we can reinstall in the kingdom of God. Is this achar? Acharya means one who shows perfect example of how to be a devotee, how to have perfect behavior. So we can also enter into this world, because without this proper behavior, without this proper mentality, without this pure bhakti, we cannot be part of these devotees. We cannot be part of this entourage of the Lord and its magnificent creation. Antarikshadasangulam Purusha eveda tat sarvam yad bhutva jattavavyam. Even in this Purusha Sukta is explained that there is the three parts, these three parts of the Lord is the eternal spiritual world, none touched by anything. Only one pada, spuna. There is the repetition of birth and death. And there's where we are, since time immemorial. But it's this other nature, and that's what the Lord wants us there. He has no particular interest with our surrender. So this loving connection with the Lord has to be anyavilashita sunyam. Srila Prabhupada, when he disembarked in Boston, he saw this big steel company. It was an unalloyed steel. He used this word, unalloyed, and he put it at his purpose in many places. Non-mix. Alloy means when you mix. No need of mix anything. Must be completely pure. It's unalloyed devotional service. And that's where we're going if we keep practicing properly. This sadhana bhakti transform into something natural because it's in the heart already. We just have to get away with these layers. The process of bhakti starts with shraddha. And this same shraddha became pure shraddha. Shraddha is a purification, complete surrender to the Lord. The Lord is Suklambar. He is our leader. We trust completely in His discretion, in His guidance. There is no doubt. So this shelter, this mental, to keep up this individuality, this ego, these false layers, and to go back to this original position as eternal servant of the Lord is an internal individual decision. That's why it can happen in a second. The moment that we decide to surrender completely to Krishna and have Him as our leader, our Lord, our only refuge. And He comes in different forms. He is the autocrat, He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but He has different authorities. The Vedas are authorities. Mataji, Hare Krishna. So nice to see you after so long. Then He puts our parents as authorities. The sages are authorities. The husband is an authority. So it's easy to see that this is the shelter. And when these authorities are connected with Krishna, it's easy to surrender. For the children, it's easy to be obedient to a parent who is connected with Krishna, Vaishnava. For the wife, it's easy to be surrendered to a devotee who's a devotee of Krishna. So there is harmony. It's a way to go back home. So the authority is not just jumping over all, just directly to Krishna. No, there is a process of surrender. It's difficult sometimes to follow, but that's the path. Mahajena jnana jatasa mantha. They know, we trust, and we follow. We follow the footsteps of the devotees. Because it's a culture out there. There is unlimited quantity of grihastas, unlimited quantity of all kinds of living entities fully conscious of Krishna in any shape and form. The spiritual world is fully conscious. How are we going to interact with everything, with the bee, with the flower, with the devotees? Because they are all serving Krishna with love and affection. So this has to start here. And this start glorifying first the devotees of the Lord, so we can understand this Uttama Shloka, these great prayers of glorification of the Lord. Without glorifying His devotees, it's very difficult to understand Krishna Himself. That's why we start the day glorifying the Guru. Samsara dava dhananidha loka Tranaya karuna gana ganatum. Without the rain of mercy of the spiritual master, we are in a burning fire. Anala. What is this fire? This desire to enjoy, this lusty desire to enjoy separated from Krishna. But only this cloud of rain, constant rain, can turn out this fire. It's like now in Los Angeles, in California. Kali, furnace. Furnace means fire. Furnace means a stove where is fire. And it's a Latin word. In this forest fire is very difficult. All the houses are being burned. Without the rain, it's not possible to stop it. And if we aren't part of this conflagration, how are we going to escape? So in our own hearts, this fire is starting. This fire of desire of separated service to matter instead of Krishna. Thinking we are the supreme enjoyers, that we are the controllers, we make plans for enjoyment. They're always all bewildered. Keep us bewildered. Why we don't get the happiness that we were looking for? But in the service of Krishna, this mode of goodness immediately gives satisfaction. We find ourselves properly situated. Loka, in Latin we say loco. When the person is crazy, we say loco. Because it's dislocated, just like a bone where it's out of place, it's dislocated, it's not in proper place. The person who don't know where it comes from, where is his house, who's his parents, he's local. So I think I'm local. But by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we find out who is our Supreme Father, what is our real home, who are the parents, who are the entourage of the Lord, and how we can get back there. They are giving us the way to get out of this samsara davanala nanadita loka. Someplace so far away from Krishna. And the three miseries never stop poking us. So this practice of devotional service, this taste for sadhana, to get this ruchi, to get this taste, to be fixed in this process, the Srila Prabhupada shows that this is the way to stay high forever and beyond the sun. No need of heavenly planets, no need of anything separated from Krishna. So in this verse shows this magnificent form of Lord Varaha. But it's interesting, he takes the form of a boar, because the boar sometimes picks up some fruit from a dirty place, from the mud. So here the Lord also with his tusk is taking the earth. That's another for the ones that the earth is flat. There's the Lord is picking up the earth with his tusks. Prahlad Maharaj talks about the earth as gulab. Gulab jamun means a bowl of sweet. Gulab is globe in English, globo in Latin, globe, Google, whatever you want to call it. It's a round piece. So this earth fell into the Garbhodaka ocean, and the Lord entered into this water. He is just like a gajendra, enjoying to enter into these waters. He's very beautifully swimming in these waters and reaching where nobody else can reach there. Even Brahma tries to go through the steam, trying to find the origin of, he wasn't able to. Didn't have enough lifetimes to get there. But the Lord in his form of boar, he is just enjoying this pastime. The demigods are observing his magnificent activities. He's gajendra-līlaḥ, like an elephant, the king of the elephants, enters into the water, and he is rescuing the earth. Someone may think, oh, this sounds like mythology. So why you believe in God? God means unlimited power. He can do as he likes. We perform pastimes that are insignificant. We kick a ball, we just work hard, make a bridge, make a little phone. But Krishna can do activities that are wondrous. The demigods and the demons, they churn the ocean. And they use the Mandara mountain as a pivot. And they use Vashuki as the turning rope. They have the power. In the more higher planetary system, people have all kinds of siddhis. And the soul has even more than siddhis. The pure soul. The soul is amazing. So why not? And if the Lord is all powerful, he can perform anything. And his activities are like the waves of the ocean, his different forms. You cannot count. We have Das Avatar, and we have Hamsa, and we have Hayagriva, and we have many other forms. But this is unlimited, his manifestations. What to speak in Vaikuntha himself, his activities are amazing. So, these glorifications are not mythology. This is his activities, were beyond our capacity. When the Lord appeared as Balaram, they call it Atimartyani Bhagavan. They are superhuman activities. The activities of Krishna and Balaram are superhuman. All his pastimes are wonderful. It's just amazing to see how the people who is rejecting authority, rejecting their parents, rejecting the studies, rejecting everything, they accept an elderly gentleman as their guide. And then they read the goddess lifting a Govardhan hill, and then he's killing Putana, and he's doing these amazing activities. And they accept it completely. And they help him to spread the word. That's one is Vedantist, perfect devotee, not only with knowledge, but with purity. Everybody can see when he opened his mouth, this transcendental vibration comes in and awakens the soul immediately. We heard how Lobamatra Sadhu Sangha. Lobamatra is a very insignificant measurement of time. But this Lobamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. All the siddhis can be obtained with seconds, insignificant time lapse of association with a pure devotee. That's why we should glorify always these disciples of Srila Prabhupada who help spread it, because they have wonderful association with His divine grace. They have personalized interaction with Him. I remember this video when Srila Prabhupada is at his desk and Prabhu is asking him for loans. Srila Prabhupada, they're asking him, first books, then loans. Personal association. That is something unattainable, very difficult to attain. That's why Narottam Das Thakur is lamenting. Where is these devotees? He wanted to associate, because it's such a great loss. And 10 years more, maximum 15 years more, the majority of his disciples, they will be back reunited with Krishna. We are also very fortunate to be able to be in their association. Confirm. I think that we have reached the time for maybe some questions. We leave it there. That's it.
Thank you for that nectarine class. I was going to comment on something, but since you brought up this question about loan or money for temples, the actual story is Srila Prabhupada had signed this gigantic contract with one of the biggest contractors in India to build the Juhu Beach Hare Krishna temple.
Uh-huh.
And after he signed that contract, he wrote to me and said, so now I will require, we had a 50-50 formula. For all the money coming in from book sales, 50% can be loaned, 50% for reprinting. He wanted, on top of that, for that contract in Juhu, he said, now I need you to send me $70,000 US every month.
Oh.
So we had to somehow, where are we going to get that kind of extra money? And that's where that phrase in Sankirtan came up, double it.
Double it.
Yeah, we printed buttons. Everyone, all the devotee book distributors were wearing this button, double it. We had to double book distribution, and then there'd be enough money for this. But the point of the story is that it was 1975. It was in the middle of the 2-month Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon. And printing 17 books, 20,000 each in just 2 months. So during 1 or 2 of those months, so much money had to be sent to the printer. So I wrote to Prabhupada and said, we are not going to be able to make this 70,000 a month payment for Juhu in this month and in that month because we're printing Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Uh-huh.
And that's when he said what you quoted. Temple second, books first.
Yeah, he took his glasses off to make the point.
That-
First books.
Yes,
What is that?
honey.
Amazing. Thank you, Prabhuji. Was at the same time of the Chaitanya Charitamrita Marathon.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. That was a beautiful, such a heartfelt class, and I feel it's a very moving class. Thank you so much. And you spoke about the necessity to glorify the devotees, which is so powerful to glorify the devotees. So I was wondering if you can speak about the converse a little bit, about the dangers of speaking ill of devotees, gossiping about devotees, and or criticizing devotees. Because we find that when we glorify devotees, we make so much advancement, but if we criticize, we don't. Can you speak a little about that?
This glorification of the devotees is always pure and perfect. Because you're talking about, when we pay obeisances, we said, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva-cha Vaishnavevyo namo namaha. The whole spiritual world has unlimited Vaishnavas. And inside this Brahmanda and other Brahmandas, there's unlimited Vaishnavas. And even someone who is just start chanting, he's already considered a Vaishnava. Lord Chaitanya, someone who chants Hare Krishna once is already considered a devotee. So glorifying the devotees, Uttama devotees, they also involve everyone who is taking Krishna as his shelter. And this is such an amazing thing to realize by the grace of the devotees. We hear how different kinds of gurus. And we have gurus who are just showing us the path. Padarakshaka guru. It's someone who gave a book in the street, someone who maybe even was not even a devotee. A father who said, look, I found these books and just read it. He is the one who started our path. There was one gentleman in my city who had a travel agency, and he will take people to Miami and to Orlando and things like that. And in the airport of Miami, all the devotees, Narotaka Gopal, etc., they will give the first Srimad Bhagavatam in Spanish. And he will bring it home, and because I was part of the Yogananda ashram, said, give it to Pedro, he likes this kind of weird topics. And I got first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book 1, and he was bringing it. So this gentleman was not a devotee, he is the father of my friends, but I always remember him as someone who initiated my path. It's not a devotee, but it is he deserves, hopefully by the grace of Krishna. If one day I'm able to reach that place, Lord Krishna promised you in 19 generations they can be. So that's the devotees. They're always thinking in others, how to reach others. So we cannot criticize the ones who are just giving us the greatest gift. So any association with any devotee, even if his devotee is temporarily out of shape, still in his heart he is a devotee of Krishna, and Krishna knows how to correct his path. Even the word correct comes from reka, means in Sanskrit line, and from line you have correct, rector, corregir, correction. Always go back on line. So this process is always bringing the living entities back on the path. Neha vikramana shoshti. Any step giving in this path, never get lost. Always go back to where we started, where we left it. So glorification of devotees is something that is always reached the right places, but especially Paramatma. Without glorification of devotees of the Lord, we don't get nowhere. When we throw this glorification towards us, that is the problem. When we expect respect. But I Mahaprabhu is making it very clear for us. Amani namana dena. Give all respect to others. Don't expect nothing for yourself. Otherwise, this holy name becomes so difficult to have it in our hearts, you know. So this is our saving In this ocean of material existence, the glorification of the devotees takes us out of this material world. This makes sense? I think we have a few minutes more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
You spoke about the natural hierarchy of surrender. The child can easily surrender to the parents if they're a devotee like that. Can you please speak a little bit about when we are surrounded by obviously highly qualified Vaishnavas, why are we apprehensive or reluctant? Or, what is the cause of the apprehension to give ourselves fully, as you said, Prabhupada's
These
disciples?
doubts are like demons, When Krishna said to us, these doubts are like demons. Every time we doubt this Vedic process, we just think, no, I don't have to surrender. Why if? What if? So this lack of faith. If you have full faith in the Lord, you have faith in everyone. Obviously, you have to use common sense. It's like Voltaire, a French philosopher, said, common sense is not so common. It's not so easy to have common sense. Common sense means when you found the Vaishnavas, basically Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, you see the sadhus understand this, it's written, and the gurus, that's common sense for us. And also common sense in a practical way. Table needs 4 legs, doesn't need 3. But you can do 3, just have to balance it. So for us it's always the safest path is to have faith. If the wife doesn't have faith in the husband, maybe it's because he's not practicing. But if he's practicing properly, in Vedic times, women didn't take initiation, was not necessary, because the husband took initiation, the wife saves the husband. So it's Krishna, Guru, the husband, the wife. It was not like wife, Guru, Krishna. No, it's not necessary. No, but my Guru Maharaj says something different. No, it was always the same. It's a siddhanta, it's something that you follow. So when you have full faith in the process, then it's no harm. It's like, for example, we can talk about Mandodari. Mandodari is the wife of Ravana, who is this is not an example, but Mandodari followed Dharma perfectly. She was a very chaste wife, very good mother, completely devoted to her Dharma. That's when you want to get married, you have to think in personalities like Mandodari. Because in the most difficult circumstances, she performed Dharma. So there's no excuse not to follow this Vedic path, because it's delineated by Lord Krishna. Sarvasya chaham motto smriti jnana vedaischa sarvair. I am has to be known through this Veda. So he has created a culture so we can reach him. This culture is eternal. So this authority is something we can follow with faith. I ask you, please bless me. 5 years I'm out of Mayapur after living here for 18 years. But my Guru Maharaj cannot travel so far away like South America no more. So we went to live there and doing some nice preaching and distributing books, have an eco farm, Giridhari Desh. And always when I close my eyes in the morning to take bath, I think I'm taking bath in the Ganga. I chant my Gayatri thinking, and this sunrise is so nice that I'm able to meditate in Mayapur. And after 5 years of being there, I came here for pilgrimage, not going back. So please bless me, continue preaching. Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Guru